What is going on, friends? Man, today we have a lot to cover. It was an unbelievable week for RTR Motorsports. We're going to get into Formula Drift. We're going to get into Crandon, and we're going to go pick up my GTD from Gittin PPF'd, take it for his first cruise, go get some lunch before I head down to Mustang Week. Let's get to it, friends. All right, well, let's start with Formula Drift. I'm just gonna jump right into it. We won the freaking Formula Drift Championship for the third year in a row. James Dean is officially a 5-time Formula Drift champion. RTR Vehicles Drift Team has officially gone back to back to back and earned it before the season finale, which has never been done before. If I'm honest, it really hasn't set in. It just feels very weird having the championship before the finals, before like a real ceremony. It's exciting, but I was talking to James and it's just very weird, you know, like he didn't have his family in town. We didn't have like a big celebration. So I am very much looking forward to Long Beach, where I will be able to whoop James's ass without worrying about affecting his points. I said it. So what went down at Formula D Utah? Well, clearly the team showed up prepared and ready to rock with the vehicles. The cars stayed out from Seattle. We actually worked with a local Ford dealer, Young Automotive, out there in the Utah area. They allowed us to prep our cars there, which thank you very much for allowing us to tie up your service bays to prep some race cars for Formula Drift. We also did a exhibition event there. They are our key RTR dealer out in that region, in the Salt Lake region. So we brought in the barriers and we had a party. A ton of fans came out. Ben and James did exhibitions. Ben was in his Pennzoil Mustang RTR demo car. James was in the Urban Bamboozle Spec 3 that Young Automotive has on the showroom floor. We borrowed off the showroom to show everybody what he could do. And then the fans got a very special treat, which James brought his FD car out and tore it up, which we don't usually do those kind of events with the FD car, but it was great for us to test some changes and get some data heading in to Utah. So getting to Utah, as normal process, I get videos of the entire team throughout the day. Our team manager lets me know everything going on with the cars, keeps me updated. We had a couple issues. James's car had some overheating things. Ben's car had a braking challenge, but they got most all of their practice laps and everybody was looking phenomenal. Ben was just on fire. The laps I saw of his were just absolutely unreal. James was just, I mean, perfect. Pretty perfect if I'm completely honest. So going into seating, Ben was up against Jonathan Hurst. He had a phenomenal, unbelievable lead run, but in his chase against Jonathan Hurst, he got lost in the smoke. I saw it coming. I saw him drop back, and as soon as he transitioned, I knew it was too early, and it was just very unfortunate. The good news is, though, he was still able to make it in the top 32 to run against Jonathan Castro. Jonathan Castro has been on a freaking tear the last couple rounds, so I knew it was going to be a good battle. Ben transitioned into the outer zone and ultimately ended up blowing off course. From my perspective, it was a awareness situation. Ben was doing so good, but he got led into that zone really, really fast. And if you look closely at the footage, you'll see that Castro didn't quite pick the throttle up super early going into that final zone, which forced Ben to not be able to pick the throttle up, which then forced Ben to go off course because he wasn't able to pick the throttle up. The car has all the bite when you're on throttle. So basically, it's not Castro's fault from my perspective. Me and Ben had this combo. He's like, well, you know, I feel like Castro didn't pick the throttle up, and he didn't, but he didn't lose momentum. And so Castro led Ben into that turn super fast, but Castro was in control, so he was able to do what he needed to do to have the adjustment to make the turn, whereas Ben couldn't because he was waiting. And this is where being the chase driver requires that awareness. Not just the awareness of what that other driver is doing, but the awareness of your speed going into those key zones so that you can control your car irrespective of what the lead car does. And this is just one of those situational experiences that Ben is still learning. Now, if Ben would have stuck that chase, in my opinion, he would have won the battle. We continue to see these amazing moments of champions with what he's doing and how he's driving that car. He's so aggressive. He's so fun to watch. We just have not put it together yet, and it is coming. If I'm completely transparent, as I always try to be, we've got a little bit more work to do up here. Obviously, you know, I said it last round, we all want better results, but I'm also okay with this process of these hard learnings because I see him not do them over and over. I see him learn from the mistakes and progress. And so that is how champions get made. You know, sometimes you learn all these mistakes over 10 years. In Ben's case, he's learned a whole lot of mistakes over 2. So I am extremely, extremely optimistic going into Long Beach. We're working on some things behind the scenes, and I expect to see some greatness, if nothing else, some amazing moments that rarely are seen only of champions with respect to vehicle placement, aggressiveness, excitement. I get so excited when I watch Ben drive that car. And yeah, we just need to get it put together. And I know I keep saying it, but I believe it. It's coming. Moving on to the champ, 5X champ, James the Machine Dean. Am I doing a good job, Jared? Man, what can you say? You know, the dude, when it comes to competitive drifting globally, James Dean is the GOAT. Fight me. He is just, his consistency. He is so good. His transitions coming out of outer zone 2 to go into the sweepers were just perfect. He was, sometimes I felt overly aggressive coming out of 1, but he just knew exactly what to do to let him by and attack. 1 or 2 times he got greedy. I don't remember the battles, but man, we were just sitting at Crandon watching this unfold, and like my heart, I was about to race. So my day at Crandon was watching James until I raced at 9 o'clock. So I woke up, breakfast, watched Top 32, then got to the track, and we were at our rig on display watching Formula D at Crandon, and literally my heart is like beating out of my chest every time he goes up for battle. So, you know, it happened like Top 32, boom, won his Top 32 battle. Then Osbo gets knocked out Top 32. So now we're in Top 16, and if James moves on in the Top 16 against Novak, who just took Osbo out, Osbo has no chance at the championship. But Matt Field and Adam LZ have now entered the chat, and they're running for the championship. So, has a battle with Novak. I do believe the One More Time was a really good call. They both were sloppy. They both made mistakes. And then James sealed the deal in the One More Time battle. You can't even argue it. So then moving to the top 8, he's up against my bro, Chris Forsberg, 3-time champ, first 5-time champ. So he had to beat Forsberg and make it through the top 4 to seal the deal. Him and Chris had, I think, my favorite battle of the night. I might be biased, but it was sick. In fact, I could tell how stoked Forsberg was because Forsberg's got his hand out the window in the last turn, like, yeah! Like, James was just on it, and Forsberg crushed it. I mean, Forsberg was all over there, and if it wasn't for those little intricacies of line and you know, the intricacies of drifting, I could have seen it go one more time. But James definitely beat him out in some of the scenarios that you know, that we've been seeing judging very, very harshly judged on this year, which I think is great. Judges are doing what they say. So now here we are, the final moment that was going to dictate whether we get the championship in this moment or not. Final four against Adam LZ, which, by the way, I'm just going to take a little sidebar. Adam, bro, crushing it. It makes me so damn pumped and proud to see Adam's progression, his consistency. I mean, what, he's been at the top almost all year. He's been in the chat all year of podium discussion almost. And it's just been amazing, you know, watching him go from, you know, our team to reinvigorating his team to where he's at right now. And it's just, yeah, it's sick, and I'm pumped for him. And I've been saying it for years. It's a champion in the making. And many of you, well, maybe not you, but others, especially haters that hate Adam for some dumb reason, were hating. Told you so. Ha! Back to James and Adam. I knew this was going to be good. Adam was on it. His car is fast. The last 2 rounds, it has been our car and Adam's car, the fastest cars that show up to Formula Drift. Adam was running really good lines, great angle, and I knew that Adam could potentially, if James was not perfect, Adam had a chance, a big chance. And so Adam made some mistakes. If I'm honest, Adam did not show up to that battle with what he showed up with the rest of that weekend. Whether it was nerves, well, I don't know what it was, but he just didn't drive like he could. I will say, though, in his lead, the angle that he tossed coming from outer 2 to outer 3, I thought he was spinning. He pulled it off, and it was freaking beautiful. If I was in a chase, I probably would have hit the brakes, because he almost backward enteried a massive sweeper and somehow did not end up super shallow at the exit. So that was really impressive. So yeah, we got the win, championship secured. I am freaking out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to the finals. And we just won the championships. Like, this doesn't even feel real, straight up. I'm texting the team, I'm just like, I'm so proud. I'm just like in awe. Also trying to compose myself to get in my race truck and go do a race. And next thing you know, James Dean goes in the finals, and I didn't even need to see the announcement. I knew we won it, and I'm just like, you know, first thing that comes to mind is like, how does one company, RTR, myself obviously being the owner, attract such amazing humans that can continue to deliver, not only build a badass car that continues to progress and continues to be able to dominate all of these other amazing drivers, amazing teams, amazing engineering, but also a driver that is just able to just do it nonstop. And, you know, I don't have the exact answer, but obviously I halfway know it because it's happening. And the only thing that I get to is just going to, like, you know, universal laws of belief and law of attraction, and that like attract like, and energetics, and just, you know, being an amazing human and attracting amazing humans. Not to pat myself on the back, but like, that's the only thing I can come up with, because this entire shop is full of it. And I'm just so grateful for that, because frankly, it is the only reason why the things that you guys see get achieved from RTR Vehicles get achieved. And that was all that I really could come to in that moment. And I just took that energy and that pride and switched gears and went and put my suit on. From proud team owner to off-road racing driver that is trying to go beat himself up in some rough ass rocks in his Ultra 4 Bronco. So that leads us into Crandon. Man, what is Crandon? Well, for those of you that don't know, the Crandon World Championship in every September Labor Day is one of the most epic off-road races that you can watch from one location in the world, period. The track itself is the most fun track you could imagine. Like if you could build your dream track as a kid for your off-road RC vehicle, you would build Crandon. If you could build your dream track for an off-road truck, it would be Crandon. But it's not just about the track. This race has been going on for 56 years. It is a vibe. People come from all over the world to this race. It starts out with a parade downtown. I don't even want to quote how many people. I mean, there's 70 to 80,000 people in the stands out here. Downtown, you can barely walk. Everyone brings their trucks down. There's, you know, meet and greets, parades. Kurt LeDuc and Kimmy got married. For those of you who don't know Kurt LeDuc, look him up. Legend, off-roader. Used to shred Crandon. I mean, he's in his 60s or 70s now. But he just got married to his longtime amazing girlfriend, who's now his wife. Congrats, guys. So that really like kicks the weekend off. You know, our process is we have 2 races. So we had myself out there with Lauren racing our unlimited class Ford Broncos. 1 race at night, which is the Ultra Cross. So we run the Crandon short course with 2 rock piles, and then we go in the back and there's gnarly rock piles. And that's pretty insane. Then Sunday we run for the World Cup, which is the long course, just the short course, not the back in the rocks, but we do hit the 1 rock pile right at the finish line. Then also we have Bailey Campbell. She, for those of you that are just tuning in, is our newest addition to the RTR off-road team. She was driving her stock class Bronco. So the way that it works is we have a practice one of the evenings, and that practice dictates our qualifying, and then we go into racing the next couple of days. So starting with Bailey, she had her first race on Friday night. She won a race. She was running up with the 4800 class vehicles, which are tube chassis, 37-inch tires. She's in a stock powertrain Ford Bronco with safety, plus Fox shocks, plus portals. Stock powertrain, 2.7 liter twin turbo, and she's running with V8 4800 cars. Enough said. Then moving into Saturday night, Bailey had another race. She absolutely just did a repeat. Only this time she almost passed the 48s. And in fact, if it wasn't for the rock piles, she would have beat the 4800 trucks. Quote me on that. That would have happened. Then after her race, myself and Lauren did our first race. Again, the Ultra Cross. This is a race that's up to attrition. The strategy was to go out, be smart, see how the race settled, and start pushing about the midway. Off the start, things did not go so well. I think I don't even know, but there's more cars than I would have liked in front of me.
Go, 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 go. Drop behind.
But I was still being very patient. And unfortunately, in the first freaking second rock pile on the first lap, I bent a wheel.
3 cars behind you, looking good, all the way, all the way, all the way. Guys, do I have a flat? I can't tell.
Destroyed a wheel, I should say, which ultimately let, you know, my tire pressure out. And on the first lap, I had to pit. Everybody passed me. I want to go ahead and say this was not a earned flat. I was being patient. I got a really rough bump and just hit a rock right at the exit. And I feel like the reason is because I was being too patient and my shock setting and the Fox Live valve was set for kill mode. And if I was not as aggressive as I was in practice because of fear of getting a flat, and I freaking got the flat. So now I'm in the pits and like,
Son of a bitch.
Watching the whole field pass me. I get out of the pit and I'm just on a mission.
Get after it, get after it. Keep it cool, be smart, let's put your head down and let's get some work done, son.
Back up to 5th place by the end. And, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbled. But in good news, Lauren Healy, my teammate, my man, dominated just from green flag to checker in the lead and just ran a really clean race and got the win for the RTR off-road team. So moving into Sunday, the World Cup came in with the same attitude, same mindset. It was not to get a flat. In fact, I was committed to not getting a flat. I came out the start line, 3rd place, Lauren right in front of me, Paul Herschel right in front of me. It was insane. The start was nuts. They just watered the track. So I'm behind Lauren and Paul, just getting roosted. I mean, ripping tear-offs. In fact, I think I went through my whole pack of tear-offs on like the first 2 laps. Paul Wolf got me on gravel turn on the first lap. So now I'm in 4th. Going through the rocks. I'm just running with the pack, just trying to be smart, not letting them get away, staying there. Going into lap 2, I see Lauren Hail Mary through the rocks. He shoots up this boulder, no lie, it's like this big. And then, so he makes the pass, and then right at the end, just like me the night before, caught a big boulder and just destroyed his wheel right in front of me. On that same time, I ended up getting airborne, coming in the rocks, airborne, and nosed right into a boulder. And then it hit, the deflection hit me so hard that it basically almost backflipped me. I felt for a moment that like I knocked all of my teeth out. Like the impact was so hard. And then when I land, I go to drive, I'm like, I'm done. My steering was like really heavy. I'm like, I'm done. And so I spent some time like driving around and like feeling it, still like at a decent pace, but I didn't want to go off a jump and like my whole front end fall apart because that would have sucked. But anyway, the truck, I'm like, I can do this. It's heavy, but I can do it. So I kept racing. At this point, I'm probably in, I think I'm in 3rd. I'm in 3rd place. Now I got my bearings with me after just getting rocked, and I'm just putting laps down, gaining on Paul Wolf and Paul Herschel. Mind you, I just want to go ahead and put it out there, Paul Herschel has a big block in this truck. It's about 300 more horsepower than any of the trucks in the field. And I'm just trying to track him down. Ultimately, I get up to Paul Wolf. I end up getting around him. And then now I've got all eyes on trying to get Herschel. And he's pretty far ahead of me. He's probably 5 seconds ahead of me right now. And I'm just doing everything I can, running really clean. My arms are getting so tired. Like I got arm pump like I'm racing a dirt bike right now. And I'm just fighting through it, just breathing, just like when I can, just shaking it off and just, trying to reel Paul in, and I could not get it done. He was ripping, he was railing turns, and once he got that big block on those straightaways, it was just, I would gain a little bit and then it would just go away. And so checker flag waves, and I earned 2nd place at the Crandon World Cup. Our team, between myself and Lauren, have won in Crandon. I mean, Lauren's the Crandon king. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. But I won this race in 2023 and got 2nd this year. And so once I get off the podium, I go back to the tent. And the team's there with the truck because they drove the truck. And they're like, "Did you see your truck?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw the skid plate was off." And they're like, no, did you see your truck? And they show me. I literally, that impact that I told you about, that I feel like I knocked my teeth out, which I'm gonna start wearing a mouth guard, I think, in that truck. It moved the front bulkhead back. I hit the bulkhead so hard, it almost backflipped me. Oh yeah. You think I hit the bulkhead hard? I knocked the whole plate off. Holy crap. It just skied me. And I thought my steering was broke. My steering got super hard all of a sudden. Where the steering was bent, which is why my steering was heavy. None of the steering components bent. The actual chassis moved back and had it kind of binded. I'm talented. I'm a talented guy. It's amazing. Literally feeling in my arms today. My arms feel like they got like put on one of those old like torture devices and like stretched out from the amount of arm pump I had. The front diff is starting to tear out. The pickup points of the suspension were bent, but it was a big freaking hit. And frankly, I'm really lucky that it deflected the way that it did, because if it would have stopped, it would have hurt. So this is why we wear tight belts, friends. This is why we wear Hans, and this is why we have badass, safely built trucks. that evidently had a crumple zone that we're going to go ahead and say was on purpose because it crumpled a little bit. And I'm glad that my body didn't take that. So, yeah, so we got to take the bulkhead off that, but we got time because I don't race that truck again until King of the Hammers. So we got time to do that. It's unfortunate because it is not going to be a cheap repair, but you know what? Whoever said motorsports was cheap was wrong. You know, and just to think about this, like step back and put it all together, right? We've got 2 cars in Formula Drift, 3 cars at Crandon. Everyone's on the podium. Everybody, well, but me, won. You know, just unbelievable the success that we are earning and achieving. And what I said about the team on road a minute and the people in this building, well, we have the same humans and the same mindset and the same, you know, same success with our team in Farmington, New Mexico, which is where our, you know, RTR Vehicles off-road headquarters is. We just built a new building, which we'll have to show you guys in the very near future. And yeah, we are just firing on all cylinders. And I just have to give a huge thanks, you know, to you guys and girls, your energy, your support, our energy, the vibe. It is just a collective that just keeps attracting all of this greatness. And let's just never make it end. Let's just never make it end, you know, because winning is very fun, but the journey and seeing our teams and the interaction and the smiles on faces with them and the fans and just people coming up, loving what we're doing and just complimenting us, it just feels damn good. You know, this, I always say it, you know, this started out as my dream, but my goal is for it to be support everybody that's involves dream around it. And that passion and that energy is what I believe, or what I've experienced, creates success in anything. And so we are really reaping those benefits right now. So as if I didn't have enough excitement for the day, just like processing all of this, it really can't get any cooler right now. But wait, it's going to, because we're about to head to Suntech to pick up my GTD. It just got done getting PPF. And many of you have asked, what's PPF? It's paint protective film. And the GTD literally requires it before you go beat on it because the tires are so sticky, and tires can, you know, shoot through the aero and just destroy the paint. So Suntech put PPF on it, we put their tint on it, and we're gonna head over there, pick it up. I'm gonna drive it for the first time, and we're gonna go to lunch. Lindsay, RTR Vehicles lead designers here. I'm gonna take him out to lunch in GTD.
I like it. Are you ready?
I'm ready to do it. Let's do it. Choo! So this will be the first time Lindsay's seen it in person. Yeah. You know, obviously he was a huge part of the design that we added to it. He's you know, does the magic. Wow. Wow, this is sick. It's like the paint like came out like more with the PPF on it.
Coat.
And you know, who knows what might happen. And then after that, it's break-in. We're going to Myrtle Beach Mustang Week, which obviously will not be in this vlog, but just picture me rolling with my boy Gunner, who's gonna ride with me, 200 miles, a lot of it back roads. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, it is unreal. So we're at Suntech. This is who I chose to do the PPF on the GTD. It is extremely highly suggested to put PPF on this car because of all the open air elements for the aero. Literally driving around the parking lot, you end up with a sandbox of rocks right here. And so this marks the moment where I will be able to drive this thing.
Drive it, enjoy it.
And we did the 11.5 mil PPF all the way around. I even asked Rob to give me a couple extra an extra layer that I could peel off on like the high impact areas. And then we also went with Suntech, the solar film. We did 70 in the front.
70 on the front, 30 on the sides with the Suntech Evolve.
And so it's also solar, and it also blocks heat. So it like, what's, you know, the percentages?
99% UV, 94% infrared heat.
I can't believe like how you can't even tell it's on, like in this little like seam there. That's crazy. Little ready to rock. Oh, you can't even barely feel it.
No, it's like flush.
How do you flush that?
He wouldn't tell us. Ancient.
That's gonna be really cool. Little like when the sun hits it here and there.
Sill.
You did the sill too?
Yep.
My man taking care of me.
And then the
Oh, that's sick.
right near the number plate,
That's super cool.
little Easter egg. Very
Nice.
subtle.
I love that, man. Thank you. That is sick, Rob. You did a great job, man.
It was certainly a privilege. It was fun to work on and all that stuff.
I can put my fingerprints and, cause you know I'm bull in a china closet, but I'll like scratch it, you know. I can see my boys driving their Hot Wheels on it, you know. Yeah, thanks, bud. I'm ready to go drive it. I've been waiting too long. Open that door.